Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz. This is Ron's Bank Shop Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Thursday, February 23rd, 2023. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my $15 Bank Shop best bet, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. Alrighty, let's get into it. Here are the games for Thursday in college hoops. First up, we go to the Big Ten as Michigan takes on Rutgers. This one's going to be 8:30 Eastern on Fox Sports 1. I do worry about Michigan and its defense here on the road. The Wolverines have not played very well on the road this season. Only 2 true road wins in conference play. One of those back on December 8th, so a long time ago, against the weakest team in the conference in Minnesota. The other one was an impressive win over Northwestern by double digits, but that was 3 weeks ago. Other than that, this Michigan team has not really shown much in their true road games, and this is a very tough place to play at Rutgers. Rutgers plays so much better on its home court than it does on the road. We've seen that plenty of times this season. Rutgers number 4 in the nation in adjusted defensive efficiency. They force plenty of turnovers. They force a lot of tough shots as well. I think Rutgers' offense is severely underrated. A team that doesn't shoot the basketball particularly well, but they get good shots. They take care of the basketball, and they're, a very good offensive rebounding team. So I think they're going to be able to score against a pretty weak Michigan defense, a defense that I've not really been impressed with for most of the season, and especially in its last game against Michigan State. I didn't think it was a very good performance from the Michigan defense. So I like Rutgers in this game to win it and cover in the end. So give me the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. I'm going to lay the points. Next up, we go to the Pac-12 as Washington State takes on Stanford. This one, 11 o'clock Eastern on the Pac-12 network. I heard on the broadcast for Washington State's last game that this is the best 12-15 team in the country. Now, they beat Oregon to another 13-15, and I agree. They are a very, very good 13-15 squad. The team that I think could do a lot of damage in the Pac-12 tournament. Not going to be an easy out. They have some nice wins on the season. They beat USC, Arizona, Oregon, Arizona State. But a lot of those wins, most of those wins, were at home. This team has really struggled away from home. When you look at their last 4 true road games against UCLA, a 24-point loss. Against USC on the road, 10-point loss, giving up 80 points. To Colorado, they lose by 3. To Utah, they lose by 14. This team really on both ends of the court has just not played very well in their true road games. And Stanford, on the other hand, they have some nice wins on the season themselves, and they've played really well on their home court. They have home wins over Oregon and Arizona this season. So I think Stanford, they played a lot of tough games lately in their last 5 games. They're 1-4 straight up. But out of all those games, these are the teams they played: Colorado, Arizona State, Arizona, UCLA, and USC, arguably the top 5 teams in the conference. So I think Stanford is, going to be able to compete in this game. On the glass, both teams are solid. Turnover-wise, both teams pretty similar. Shot quality-wise, also pretty similar. But the key for me is Stanford's at home, Washington State's on the road. This team has just not been backable in their true road games in conference play really all season long, even going back to non-conference play where they lost road games at Boise State and Prairie View A&M and Oregon early on. So give me the Stanford Cardinal. I'm going to lay the points. Next up, we go to the Big Sky as Eastern Washington takes on Weber State. This one's going to be 9 o'clock Eastern on ESPN+. You got Eastern Washington in this one with the nation's longest active win streak at 17 straight W's. They're 15-0 in conference play, undefeated. They already took down this Weber State team back on January 28th. But I'm calling for the upset in this one, the small upset here. I like Weber State to grab the W and snap this win streak. You look at that first matchup between these two teams. Eastern Washington is a very good shooting team. The shot quality for their offense, not the best, but they're still number 4 in the nation in 2-point field goal percentage. But still, in that game against Weber State the first time around, EWU had they were 17 of 23 from 2-point range, 74%. That's much better than their season average, even as the number 4 team in 2-point shooting. And they were also 11 of 31 from 3, 35.5%. Again, better than their season average. I don't think you can expect those numbers, especially on the road. Weber State's defense, I think, is underrated. They're 104 in the nation in adjusted defensive efficiency. Not too shabby for a Big Sky team. They're very good on the defensive glass, which is super important when you're playing teams like EWU that can shoot the basketball at great rates. You don't want to give those teams second chance looks. So, Weber State number 4 in the country in defensive rebounding. That's super important. And, you got a team that's also pretty aggressive and they force a lot of turnovers. They're 113th in turnover percentage defensively. Eastern Washington's had issues turning the ball over this season, really not forcing turnovers defensively either. So I don't think Eastern Washington's defense is going to be able to hold up in this game. The question would be, can their offense do enough? And I don't think so. I think Weber State is built for this matchup. I think they played very competitive, one of the more competitive games that Eastern Washington's had in conference play this season. And now with Weber State at home, I like them to get the job done. Give me Weber State in this one. I'm going to take the points, and I'm going to take them on the money line. Next up, we go to the NEC as Central Connecticut takes on Merrimack. This one's going to be 7 o'clock Eastern. I think Merrimack is the best team in this conference. They're certainly the best defensive team in the NEC, as they're 107th in the country in adjusted defensive efficiency. They're number 1 in the country in turnover percentage defensively. So, the big thing for Merrimack has been their defense is pretty solid. Their offense has been lousy. They're 362nd in the nation in adjusted offensive efficiency. But I will say they're on a 6-game win streak, and a lot of that's been because their offense has really improved. In those 6 wins, 5 of those 6 victories, Merrimack was able to score 67 or more points. And it's really big for this team, a team that likes to slow things down, to be able to score those points, to get those better shooting numbers, both on the road and at home. Their last 3 wins were all in true road games. So I'm really impressed with this Merrimack team. They get to the free throw line. They limit fouls defensively. Like I said, they force a ton of turnovers. And the big thing that Merrimack that scares me is that the fact that they're not very good on the offensive or defensive glass. One of the worst rebounding teams in college basketball. But with Central Connecticut on the road, a team that's not very good rebounding team themselves, I don't think that the Blue Devils are going to be able to exploit that in this one. So I think Merrimack's defense is going to win the day. I like Merrimack to win this game and cover in the end. So give me the Warriors. I think they earned their 7th straight win. And the final game we're going to talk about for Wednesday's card in college basketball, it'll be in the WAC as Utah Valley takes on Tarleton. This one's going to be 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPN+. This should be a fun game, I think an underrated game on the board for Thursday, as Tarleton usually has a nice home court advantage when they're playing at the Wisdom Gym, and I think it's enough here to grab a win in this game. I do think Utah Valley is a great team, 21-6 overall, 12-2 in conference play. They're on a 5-game win streak. But I also see the fact that this team's a little bit overvalued. I think a little bit overrated as well on the defensive end. Right now ranked 39th in the country in adjusted defensive efficiency. They're 7th in the nation in effective field goal percentage defense. So, what that tells me is they benefited from their opponents missing a lot of good shots. And, Utah Valley has not forced many turnovers. They're not very good in the defensive glass. And I think Tarleton, a team that gets to the free throw line so much, really one of the best teams in the nation at doing so, I think their offense will be fine in this game. And I like the Tarleton defense. Tarleton is 13th in the country in turnover percentage defensively. They can get those fast break opportunities on the other end. Utah Valley's had some issues with turnovers this season, 214th in the nation in turnover percentage offensively. Not a very good rebounding team, so I think Tarleton has an advantage there. Give me Tarleton in this game. And that's it. Those are the games for Thursday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comment section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.